Hello y'all, so I've been talking about doing a braiding tutorial for a while, finally getting around to it. Just had a fight last week and finally got the time to not have my hair in braids, so it's been nice last few days having my hair straight down. It's pretty long, I don't know how long, but I'd say it's over like 18 inches. But anyways, what we're going to be doing today is braiding our hair. As a dude who fights regularly, is always in training, like I hate having my hair down, I hate doing buns, I hate having single braids, and I like having my hair braided. So we're gonna get some of that done today. Really what you're gonna need is you're gonna need like a nice fine pick comb right here. A pen will work, a knife will work, anything with a sharp tip at the end that you're not gonna cut yourself is gonna do you really well. But right now I'm gonna be using this, and then I also use like a fine tooth comb. You can use something smaller if that's all you have. But these come in handy, something like really not too fine that you can kind of get your hair out with. So I just washed my hair today, and from the wash, it's like the best way to come and comb your hair, just because your hair is going to be nice and good off the conditioner. It's not going to be all tangled. So just get to combing my hair out, and then we'll start braiding. And then actually, you're not supposed to start combing your hair from the top of your head. You want to start from the bottom and comb it out. So I think that's the best way to do it. It's going to be the best for your hair to not really be pulling on it, so that you're not really pulling your follicles out or anything like that. Or I don't know exactly what it's supposed to do, but it's supposed to be better for your hair. So I don't know. The girls in my life have told me that, so I'm listening to them. They have long hair for a long time. I've only had it for the last few years. Let me see. And then really just don't try to pull on your hair. Be nice to yourself. But once you have your hair all combed out, you'll be ready to start. And then once your hair is combed out, really a lot of people like to use a mirror for this. I don't really care to use a mirror. I've been doing this so long, it kind of just works out whether I use a mirror or not. You're going to want to get your fine tooth comb and then find out about where the middle of your hair faces. I try to think about having my nose and then coming up from right here. So it'll be about right here. And then you're going to grab your fine tooth comb and just pull it all the way back, the back of your skull, all the way down to the base. When I'm down here, I like to think about having it right in the middle of my neck. So I'm going to think about getting my comb and taking it all the way to about right here. So that's in the middle of my neck. And then from there, you'll start pulling it apart. That way you have your nice middle part right there. And then today, really, I want to do 3 braids down the side. So it's going to have one braid about right here, one right here, and then one right here. Same thing on the other side. Since I'm going to be working on one section at a time, I'm going to go ahead and just get all this hair over here, collect as much as I can, and throw it into one big old chunky braid. That way I don't have to worry about putting it all the way in my face. So I'll grab it and then just start braiding it down. This is pretty simple. And the way to start it is that you'll get all your hair right here and then divide it into 3 chunks. I'll think about getting my hands. I'll come over here and collect one chunk of it into one strand, the next chunk right here, and then this middle strand I'll be able to work with. Literally what you're going to do is you're going to get one strand, pull it over the middle, get the next strand, pull it over the middle, next strand, pull it over the middle, and then you're going to keep working all the way down by just pulling your left over, right over, left over, right over, left over, right over, until you have one big braid just like that. Boom. And then I'll go ahead on the other side, and the other side is where I'm going to end up braiding at. And then on the other side, I'll go ahead, I'm going to get my fine tooth comb again. And then the way I like my braids is I like 3, I just like 3s. So I'm going to think about getting it, usually what I think about is having these 3 fingers. So I'm going to put these 3 fingers right here at the top of my skull. Actually, I'll go with these four. I'm going to start at the top or the front of my hairline. Put these four fingers down, and then I'll take another finger, put it right here, and I'll think, this is about my line. This is where I want to start at. So I'll get my fine tooth comb, and I want to connect this line to about where my ear is over here. So, one. I'm just going to draw that line straight as I can, really. Don't want it to look ugly. So I'll get that line up right here. And then boom. And then you can grade your work. If you get it, you can see a nice, good line right there. I can see the line, spread it apart. Then I'll do the same thing I did on the other side over here. I'll go and grab these chunks of hair, section it into 3 parts with one hand and then with the other. And then right goes over the middle, left goes over the middle, right, left, until I end up with my braid all the way down. Once that's done, I can start braiding this chunk right here. I'm not the best. This isn't really like the best way to do it, I don't think. But what I'll do from here is I'll grab my chunks and I'll separate them. Make sure it's all nice and straight, that way nothing's tangling. And then right here, left hand, I'm left-handed. I don't know if this works differently for everyone, but left hand, middle, back, and then left over the middle, right over the middle, left over the middle, right over the middle, until we get all the way down to the bottom. And then you also want to think with your braid where it's going. If you braid and your hands are coming back, your braid's going to come to the back. If you braid with your hands coming more towards the forward, it's going to come towards the forward. If you keep your hands more towards the middle, it's going to look the best, and your braid's going to be right in the middle. So I like to think about that. I've been kind of getting better at that the last few months, so I've been really happy about that. But the more you can pull your braids towards the middle, the better it looks. And I mean, it looks cleaner, it looks better. And hey, first step to looking cool is first step to being cool is looking cool. And once you can get your stuff in the middle, braids going down, you pull all the way, and you're just braiding this little strand all the way down. And then me, I really don't like too long of a tail, so I like to pull it down as small as I can, get it as thin as possible. It's not going to be as thin as I ever really like it, but once it gets thin enough, I have the braid that I want. I'm going to get one of my little bands right here. And then I like to use small bands. This is just whatever brand it is. You'll find these over at like Walmart or Target or like any like big convenience store, probably any hair salon. Little like rubber silicone bands. And then you just wrap and wrap until this ain't coming apart. Right there, just like that. And then once this is secure, I'm going to move over. I'm going to put my 4 fingers down again. I'll come over here, start at the edge of my other line, come down, and then I'll mark my next, and I'll pull this down to about where my hairline ends on my left side over here, since I'm doing my left side. Maybe just a little bit farther up, and I'll start braiding from there again. So I'll undo this braid right here, grab my pick, and then come over, find my edge, get my 4 fingers down, put my pick up, and come over here. And then once my line's drawn, I can start getting to work. Again, since I don't want to be braiding all my hair together, I'm going to separate the sides. So I get these strands, put them in a small braid, each hand right over left, left over right, everything down the middle, just like this. Usually the middle is the thickest one too, So I think about that. The front and back are usually a little thinner than the middle one is. But now that the middle hair is all separated, all good, I'm going to come back over, grab my left, grab my middle, grab my right. I'll start getting to work. Then you're going to go ahead, grab your band right here, and just put it over the braid, tie it until it's secure. Easy stuff, but that's an easy way to get 2 braids in just like that. Then, since these 2 are already made, I'm just going to come back down to the middle. Grab. Alright, there goes my video. Thanks, appreciate you. So, since these 2 braids are made up already, I'm just going to come to my back. This is still sectioned off. And then again, I mean, grab as small as you can. And I'm going to start way at the top. We get my 3 strands. These are going to be super small. And you start just building your way down. And then pro tip, something you want to think about is like once you get to the bottoms right here and once you get up here, make sure you're pulling it tight. The tighter you pull it, the tighter your braid's going to be, the better it's going to look. So you'll just pull down here like that. And something I didn't talk about on this side, talked about it a little bit, but it's important if you want it to look clean and tight, you want to grab as small strands as you can. Again, I'm not the best at this. I end up making my stuff super big all the time, but if you can get it with small strands, it looks better. It stays in tighter, stays in longer. You'll have to end up braiding it less. And then you want to think about not really coming all the way down with it, but braiding on top of each last braid. So again, you don't really want to come down with it. You just want to braid on top of each last braid. That'll make it look tighter. It'll look better. And people will be like, damn, this guy can really braid. And you want your braids to look good. You want your stuff to look good. So think about getting as tight as you can, as small strands as you can, and take your time with it. I'm not exactly sure what the secret for me is. Each time I feel like I'm still learning how to braid and I'm still getting better at it every time. But I am at a point where I can do it reliably and do it so that it's not getting messed up every time. So I'm happy about that. And then again, once you get down to the bottom, you're just going to keep pulling this all the way down. Boom. Got my hair down right here. And then I feel like I do this side better than I do this side every time. I feel like every time I do this side better than this side. The hair is just built that way or something. I'm not exactly sure. And then I'm not really sure how to end these every time. I feel like I always end up ending them just not the best way. So if anyone knows how to end these, hey, tell me in the comments. I'd appreciate that. But again, I'm gonna come over one strand on one side, grab my middle other strand with my other hand right here, small strands as possible, and I'm gonna pull these all the way down. And then make sure you grab everything, because the worst shit is to come back to your braid and figure out that you didn't grab a piece of hair, so you gotta come back, restart your whole thing, take your braid out, start it from the top. when you end it, I've noticed that ending it, not exactly at the bottom of your hair, but just a bit above, seems to make it look the best. And then again, you want to make sure you grab it nice and tight. And if you mess up and your braids aren't exactly the best or the straightest, or like maybe they're not the most even, you can always try and splice the hairs. So like this one feels thinner than this one. So I'm going to pull it over right here, pull it once more, and then I'll grab a little piece of that middle right there and just put it on the other one and make them a little more even than they were before I started. And then I got to pull it all the way down. Once that's done and set up, I'm going to get my hairband and tie it up. There. Usually the cool thing too is that you'll end up getting these so tight that they're not going to just fall apart immediately. I like to do that and then tie it up. Finally, we got this last one that's not done great, so we'll take it apart. It's set up, boom, and then start right at the top, as top as I can. Right here, boom. I'll grab my 3 separates, and then right over the middle, left over the middle, right over the middle, left over the middle. All in all, this process took me like 5 minutes of braid. So I'm pretty fast at it now. I imagine when I first started, it took me longer, but I'm pretty much at 5 minutes of braid now. So that's nice. So like this one, I think like this whole video has taken me about 35 minutes, which tracks because I'm doing 6 braids, 6 times 5, 35. And then actually no, I think it took me a little longer because I've been talking and stuff. I think 6 times 5 is actually 30. But I'm gonna have all my stuff, and it takes less than an hour to do all of this. I tend to have to do it most days, so I don't like to do like 6 all the time because I don't have to do fucking 30 minutes of my day just to redo every single braid. But it's not hard, it's not long, and I mean like it's no harder than like figuring out washing my body. So that's the cool thing. And then my hair is good. I don't gotta worry about putting it in a hair tie or nothing. Oh no. Okay, so this one's a little funky. And then again, same thing. I'm gonna just come back up and then redo it. I like my stuff to look clean. So I'm gonna make sure it looks clean as often as possible. Boom. Right there. Damn. Oh no, still right here. Then once this is wrapped up, I'm good to go, really. And that's the whole braid. You'll notice that this, I can kind of put my hair in it. I don't like that, so I'll end up redoing this. This is good right here. And then these backs are all good. So that's nice. But I'll end up redoing this just because I don't like the way that this is. I can put my fingers in there. I don't like that. It's not tight enough. So I'll end up re-getting that. And then to get it tighter, you'll just end up re-going and pulling it in tighter. Really, it's not too hard. You'll notice that I can't get my fingers in all the way through. Really just stopping right there. You know, I'm not the best at this, and then I'm doing this myself. It's not like professional grade. So I'm cool with this. This is just like to make my hair up, make it look cool. Nothing big. I'm not paying for this, so that's really what I think about. I'm not paying for it. I'm doing it for myself, and it's cool. But yeah, once your hair is all braided and all good, you're ready to walk out like this. Put a bandana over it, put a beanie over it, wear a hat over it if you want. Actually, if you want to do any of that, I'll really just start my braids like right here and skip all this French stuff, doing all this work. But it's a nice way to get your hair together, make it look good, make it look cool and presentable, and then it looks nice in the back. I think. I can't see it. I'm gonna have to watch this video over again and make sure. But that's a easy way to do 6 braids. I'll end up going over how to do like 5s, 4s, and 3s, and then I even do these with just 4, so like 1 and 1 down the sides, so just 2 on the sides. But this is what I was feeling today. Haven't done this in a while. Not training in the next few like days. I don't like this hairstyle too much for training, but for casual, it's fine. For training, it comes apart too often. Like, I'm not the best at it, so this is more like a casual thing. I can wear it for training sometimes, but with how long my hair is, it really gets in the way of me trying to punch and stuff. I'll end up catching it in my armpit or whatever. So I'm gonna just keep it like that, and thanks for checking in, and see y'all later. Hope you guys like the video when it comes out.